4250E. With Enlisted, Gaijin, the developer of War Thunder, dared to make an advance into the field of first-person shooters. And now, about half a year after it came out, I thought why not give it a look. So here's my quick impression of Enlisted. Is it the next Battlefield? Is it a proper rival to Battlefield, or is it even a Battlefield killer? No, not at all. Is it fun? Yeah, it can be fun. Does it look good? In some areas, yes, it does look very good. It's of course not the top of the line, but it's fine. It is the typical Gaijin game, so it has difficulties with lighting and collision. Hidden behind a gigantic wall of progression systems for your squad, for your gun, for the individual squad member, for your vehicle, for every tiny bit, and hidden behind over-monetization that you would come to expect with a free-to-play game. Hidden behind all that, there is a fairly decent first-person shooter, which adopts the gameplay systems of War Thunder to a first-person shooter. So basically this is War Thunder with infantry, and the occasional plane and tank. The amount of players on the battlefield is rather limited, but the special squad mechanic that sets this game apart from other titles fills the battlefield quite nicely. You will spawn into the battlefield with pre-selected squads. So let's say you spawn with 4 bots in tow. They follow you around and you can give them basic commands. If you should die, you can take over one of them. If they're all taken out, then the whole squad is gone and you'd spawn in with the next squad. Every squad selected has a cooldown, and these squads consist of either infantry or a vehicle. This squad mechanic makes this game rather unique and sets itself apart from the likes of Battlefield or Red Orchestra, games that Enlisted is often compared to, because in its looks and style it is kind of in between. It is more casual than Red Orchestra, but a tad more realistic than Battlefield 5, for example. Unfortunately, this squad mechanic is not enough to really elevate this game above the others, since these bots in particular is where the game falls short. They are incredibly dim-witted, have navigation issues, often stand in the way, and are really easy cannon fodder. On the other hand, it makes it easy for unexperienced and really low-skill players to rank up a lot of kills. These bots have a tendency to just accumulate in objective areas, and it's pretty easy to take them out. Boom. Throw some TNT in there, and the objective is yours. The infantry gameplay is really nothing special. The controls handle like any other shooter from the last 20 years. The vehicle controls try to be a bit more realistic. In contrast to games like Battlefield, there is no third-person view. Your only connection to the outside world is the gun sight or the driver's hatch. And then of course the commander can look outside, but will quickly be taken out. Actually, my first kill in this game was a tank commander. Boom. To my disappointment, it is not possible to use other viewports than the gun sight or the driver's hatch. So when you're approaching a tank, it's most likely that they just can't see you, so, well, engaging one in close combat is not too hard. The games provide you with a lot of room to maneuver, and many maps are really big. Especially that D-Day map looks impressive. And snipers can be a real hassle there, or a well-entrenched machine gun position. These asymmetrical maps borrow a lot from Battlefield, as the game modes revolve around capturing control points. Do not expect perfectly balanced maps, this is no esports game. But that is fine, because this is a World War II game and World War II was not balanced. It's pretty hard to retell a story like the landing in Normandy if it has to be perfectly balanced. And talking about retelling a story, of course this game is not 100% historically accurate. No game can be that. But for all the microtransaction stuff, they do take a more historically correct approach than Battlefield. No weird face paints or golden guns have yet been spotted. Besides avoiding outlandish skins a la CSGO or Battlefield 5, the game also relies on a pool of more time-accurate equipment. The majority is equipped with bolt-action rifles and not a selection of Ian McCullen's favorite forgotten weapons that you would find in Battlefield 5. The equipment available is more or less time-accurate. The game is split into several theaters of war. Early Eastern Front with the Battle of Moscow, or late Eastern Front with the Battle of Berlin, or the landing in Normandy. Another theater of war to come is the Battle for Tunisia. So currently we have the Soviets, the Germans and the Americans, and soon we'll have the British. Separating the game up into theaters of war is, in general, not a bad idea. However, it is just used to further the monetization concept. Every theater of war, every unit there, needs to be grinded up individually. And since the game is incredibly grindy, they are waving around the big flag of microtransactions, because you can speed up every grindy process with paying money. Oh, and if you want to play the Battle for Berlin, that thing comes at a hefty price tag. Well, around $60. Free to play. Yes, this game is free to play, but only in small increments. It is incredibly grindy, and so the game just nudges you and keeps nudging you towards paying money. Of course, they need to finance themselves somehow, but this whole game reeks of over-monetization. The $60 campaign, a season pass of sorts, and then the unlock cards with which you have to unlock every tiny bit, like carrying a pistol as a secondary gun. You need to unlock that. And then, in addition to that, you need to unlock the pistol, for which you have to, of course, level up, so grindity grind, grind, grindy grind, grind. This game is super grindy, and it just gets more grindy over time. Just like War Thunder, but somehow this appears to be even more grindy. There are more menus, more unlocks, and talking about the menus, they are incredibly cumbersome to go through. And in the end, they all lead to some unlock feature, which of course is then again sped up with paying money.
Alright, Kameraden. I want this cool Panzer for my German army. So I need 4,250 E. Let's buy E. E. Die haben noch den Arsch offen.
So the final verdict? This plays like a free-to-play version of Red Orchestra with a little bit of Battlefield sprinkled in. Is it in any way better than the games it is compared to? No, not really. I would still recommend the originals. It is, in its core, a decent game. You can have fun with it, it is nice to play, and yes, it is free, so the bar for entry is incredibly low. Enlisted is a competently made game. On the technical side, yes, the engine isn't perfect for first-person shooters. It is sometimes buggy and you get stuck on objects and get just pushed around by a chair or something. Yeah, that stuff is down to the engine. But apart from these issues, it is a decent game. Craftsmanship-wise, perfectly done. However, the looming sword of over-monetization and pay-to-win stuff just hangs over this game, and unfortunately for me, that kind of dooms it. Because why would I choose to play this grind fest when I can just play Hell Let Loose, Red Orchestra, Battlefield 5, or any other World War II or modern shooter that does everything this game does, but it just comes at one base price. Here you can pay, I don't know, unlimited money. You can buy all the campaigns, you can buy all the boosters and microtransactions and probably soon skins as well. Why would I play this game when I can play so many other good ones? In the limited playtime that I had, I noticed one thing. Players that absolutely dominated me were players that are equipped with stuff they can buy in the store. Heavy automatic rifles can be just unlocked with $5 or $10. So yeah, it's big pay to win. So unfortunately I must say, I will pass on Enlisted. War Thunder is great for its tank simulation, but this, the infantry simulation? Nah, I don't need Enlisted for that. Infantry combat has been done way more competently by other developers. But what do you think? Share your opinions in the comment section down below, because as always I am happy to personally respond and discuss with you. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, I think you know what I would like you to do. Give the video a like, consider subscribing for future content, maybe also ring that bell so you actually get notified when we upload something. And if you absolutely love our content, why not consider supporting us on Patreon, as our supporters there got to see this video well in advance. Our generous supporters are Lone Wolf, Zat Gladys, Wrapped in Glass, Cookie, Harrison Steffens, Plasma, Tome, Rainbow Flash, Grizzlyware, Strange Module, Tainzer, Cop Fighter, Inter, Charles Surratt, Albany Knight, and Sir K. And welcoming back from a short hiatus, supporter Uncle DG. To them and everyone else, thanks for watching. Hopefully, see you guys next time. Until then, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.